business community now.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to This Week in Business. It's Kingsley and I, and we've got a really hot topic to talk about. I even just sent Kingsley an article that I read a few hours ago. So, Kingsley, we're going to talk about cryptocurrency today and the ATO.
Yes, a couple of things we just want to get across is number one, I think a number of people that are in crypto still see it as sort of some sort of dark webby thing that the ATO doesn't know about, but they appear to have some connection into most of them. We have clients where on their pre-fill reports it does say that they've got particular cryptocurrencies, and it therefore will mean that the tax office would expect there to be some reporting in your return about it. I guess if you've bought the crypto and just sat on it, well, you don't necessarily have anything to report. But if you've swapped out of one into another, that's probably the key trap, and it didn't turn into dollars in betweens. That's the same as switching from Rio into BHP shares. They're going to still say you sold your Rios and you bought BHP, so we've got a capital gain possibly on your Rios, and we want to see the detail and possibly tax you on it. So I think there's probably a lot of people out there that have done those transactions that think that until they bring it back into real dollars, they don't have a problem or anything to report. The tax office sees that very differently. So that's the key thing they need to be aware of. The tax office is aware that some 600,000 people have gone into crypto over the last 12 months, or the sort of pandemic period, because they have got access to some data. So it's not as off the grid as people think it is, and they will probably at the minimum know you've got some.
Yeah, right. So this is quite an interesting thing, as it has been flagged up that it is on the ATO's hit list for FY 2021. So guys, that's this financial year that we're getting very close to the end of. So if you are playing in that crypto land, I personally know nothing about it. But if you're receiving payments or making payments in there, from what I can see in the articles, is that the ATO has that information. So just don't try and hide it. Otherwise, they're going to come for you.
Yeah, I think you could expect an audit. So I think the other thing to probably bear in mind around the audit part too is generally you'll find the ATO will be about 2 years behind. So if they're going to look at the 21 financial year tax returns, you're going to get the letter in the mail in about 2 years' time. So don't think, I lodged my tax return and a month or so has gone by, nothing happened, I'm in the clear. Almost certainly they haven't as yet checked it. And because they've got to wait pretty much they'll wait for all the returns to get lodged for the year, and for that year to be sort of over before they'll start their cross-matching exercises in a lot of cases. So don't assume that if in a year's time, you didn't put it in there, and a year's time you didn't get a letter, that you've gotten away with it. You probably have not gotten away with it, and it's coming.
Yeah, that's it's a really key point, is that it is not immediate. So as much as they're saying it's on their hit list, guys, it's not this year. You're not going to get it straight away. It's just on their hit list for when they do get around to doing it. And now, Kingsley, you often talk about the slow machine of the ATO and things that happen. You shared with us earlier this year about how they're just starting to do some data matching on stuff that's from a couple of years ago, and people are just starting to get letters. So it's really important to remember the ATO is not a fast moving beast, because there's a lot of us that lodge tax returns.
Yeah, and it's just huge amounts of data that's got to come into their system in the first place. And then, as I say, they're not, in a lot of cases, they're not going to start the thing until they've basically sort of got, as people are lodged horrendously late, but, in a sense, until they've got most of the returns in, particularly if they're data matching across, trying to match across what's in one person's return to another's, or a business's to an employee's, or whatever else. They've got to wait for both sides to be in before they can start the process. So even if they had vast computer systems that could do it quickly. They've still got to wait for all those people to lodge. So it is a slow process, and it is that you get that trap where people sort of think, they've gotten away with it, and then they get a letter quite late. It's the same with all the property transactions. They basically do now data match every property transaction. So if you've sold a property that was a rental and you think, I'm not going to put it in my return and not pay the capital gains tax on it, you will probably get the letter, as I say, in about 2 years' time.
Yeah, so no point in hiding things from the ATO. They have almighty power to reach into places that people don't want to know. I remember when Bitcoin was first talked about, and it was on the dark web. It was a currency to pay for things that wasn't trackable. But these days, guys, it is not. So just be very, very mindful that you don't want to forget, strategically forget some information in your tax return. All right, Kingsley, anything else to add on crypto and ATO today?
No, not particularly. That's all there is to say. I think.
Well, you don't love crypto, and Anthony didn't join us today because he's having PTSD about crypto. So, guys, look, crypto is a space that we stay away from, but we do just want to make sure that we're giving you the right information and information that's relevant. So, just be mindful and talk to your accountant if you are someone who plays with crypto. All right. Thank you so much, Kingsley, and we will talk again soon.
Okay.